single file. The caution lights are down. George's. Green flag. Eric Nutt stalls it on the back straightaway. The yellow comes out. They said he might never win a Grand Prix.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here for the first round of the P1 Gaming GT series here from the Circuit Zandvoort. Now, we are running both the rFactor2 GT packs, and those are obviously by Studio 397. So we have the mix of the Aston Martin Vantage, the current generation Vantage, the only game as of this time to have the brand new Vantage in it, alongside the McLaren 720S, the McLaren 650S, the Bentley Continental GT, the Radical, of which I don't think anyone uses anymore, the BMW M6, the Callaway Corvette, which is prioritized in the ADAC GT Masters, and I'm proven wrong instantaneously by my cameraman Ricardo Brockman, who is an absolute legend for helping us out with this tonight, as he shows David Tepper, who is running the Radical, so I need to shut my mouth, I think. But anyway, I am Alex Skinner, and I'm going to be taking you through tonight's action here from Zandvoort. One of the most beautiful circuits I have driven. I'm not a fan of it driving it, but it is a beautiful circuit and provides some great racing nonetheless. Currently looking at Simon Scott. He is doing a great job. See, start of qualifying here. A long qualifying session, but not too long. Obviously, most people who will watch any other GT series provided, well, Sim Sports or GPVWC, will note that the qualifying sessions are just slightly shorter, but I believe that a longer qualifying session gives people a lot more time to just perfect those laps, and it puts a bit of pressure off them, so you get a bit of higher quality. Saber Kiss, a 1:35.4 to go to the top of the table by 0.06 of a second over Billy Eisman. So, Saber Kiss and the Black Hawk Aston Martin showing why he is a very, very fast driver and a very quick GT driver in his own right. Obviously, one of the many drivers on the grid that has had experience from elsewhere. And I am joined in the booth by a friend of mine, Simon Christman, who has decided to come and join me as we are in the middle of this qualifying session. So, Simon, it's to see you, my good friend. It has been a long time since I spoke to you last.
Yeah, it's a time.
So obviously, Simon, the new GT series, obviously with both the Studio 397 GT packs on offer. We've heard in other series that the balance performance isn't the greatest between the two packs, but that the Aston Martin's a bit, well, when I say a bit, it's marginally quite a fair way faster than the rest of the cars. And obviously, you've been watching all the practice sessions, I've been watching a fair of the practice sessions, but looking at qualifying at the moment, it doesn't seem to be that way. It seems that everyone else has sort of managed to bring the rest of the packs closer to the Aston Martin than what has been seen elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll see, but yeah, what I've seen so far, or heard also in forums, is that the Aston and also the McLaren 720 are a bit quicker than the rest. So yeah, but we're also aware that the studio is working on a updated BOP. So I think we will see an BOP update in future.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously for now, all of these guys just having to push on with the BOP, the balanced performance that we have so far, and Sabakis still at the top of the timesheets of 1 minute 35.4. A bit of chopping changing down the order, and obviously multiple drivers, you'll see, will come into the pit lane before escaping. That is because of the rules we have here for qualifying, which means that drivers must come back into the pit lane prior to escaping so that they can go out on track again. If they decide to escape whilst on the circuit and outside of the pit lane, their qualifying session is over. So doing that by accident on impulse with 13 minutes and 50 seconds of qualifying remaining is definitely going to be one of those mistakes that you will regret. And obviously, currently looking at Nikodem Vizbicki in the Audi, a beautiful Audi, the Dritters Motorsport Audi. And that is one of the actual slower cars of the packs from what the testing that's been done around the community. So great to see that Nikodem hopefully can push that car. Obviously, he's currently down in 20th, the current couple of seconds off the qualifying pace, but everyone's only just set their bank a lap, so we'll expect people to be pushing forward a lot more towards the end of this session. Obviously, Blackhawk 1, 3, and 4, you know, up the top of the timesheets, 3 cars within the top 5 at the moment is just absolutely outstanding dominance. But it's what we've come to expect from Blackhawk, and obviously, Ren Simulation are currently only 600ths off, as we said, you know, the number 209. So great to see those guys holding a candle against the very experienced Blackhawk team. Good also to see. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Simon.
Just for you as a small heads up, why the escape rule only in the pit lane. We introduced it because we thought it just is closer to real racing, and also it looks better in the stream than people just slowing down after the after the finish line and pressing escape.
Yeah. Yep, and this isn't the only series to actually use that system either. Obviously, the GPVWC has been using it in their series, so it's great to see another series, especially here, P1 Gaming, that strives to be as professional and close to real life as possible, using and introducing that system as well. So we'll be seeing, hopefully, a lot of drivers not making the mistakes that we have seen elsewhere, as Lewis Run getting very sideways through the middle sector. Oh, sorry, through the end of the first sector, I must say. God, get my sector names right today will be great. Currently looking at Fabian Volta in the number 47 Audi. He is currently pushing on. He's had very good starts this session. Obviously, he's 15th at the moment, so 28 cars currently showing on the tower. So, you know, he's in the top half of the field to see, and it's nice also to see the single radical there actually having a pretty decent session as well. Of all those cars I looked at when I looked at the spotter guide, the one car I didn't expect to see was the Radical, because we have seen through multiple other series and races that the Radical is one of the weakest cars, and if you have a little slide in that car, you are going to find yourself having a lot of issues. But great to see that David Tepper and the VMADS team are running that today. And Simon, it must bring a bit of joy seeing such a rare car in racing nowadays, sort of being used on such a, you know, such a great simulation and such a great series.
Yeah, it would be my first pick also, but only to annoy Marcus, not because it's the best car.
I think we all have those picks some days where we just pick cars to annoy another driver or annoy another friend of ours. I think we originally were going to pick from another series, the 650S, just to annoy everyone who wanted us to run the 720S because, well, why not run an older car for a laugh when the newer one's available? But obviously, a lot of these guys picking the newer cars from the newer pack, obviously, as we've seen the Aston and the McLaren 20S, very much cars are the picks, but obviously the Bentley and the Callaway can still hold out to them, we've seen. So it'll be very interesting because we've still got 10 minutes of qualifying left. As the 99 Blackhawk racing car, 134.9, that is insane. We've now broken under the 1 minute 35s, and as the session goes on, I wouldn't be surprised to see us getting towards the mid 134s. So could be a possibility, but it's a 2/10 gap back to the 27 car. So, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see how these times develop. Obviously, as the track rubbers up more, the track will then get grippier. So the tyres will want to actually perform a lot better. And obviously, with GT3 cars, the track condition and how the track evolves is a lot is very, very important indeed. It may seem more... well, a lot of people go, oh, but it matters with every series. No, with GT cars, they lack grip anyway. So to have grip on the track is so much nicer, and you'll see a lot of the time that the track at the start of the race, and obviously, will be a lot slower than it will become the end of the race as Danny Visner comes into the pit lane, the pole sitter at the moment, as Sebastian Pfeiffer, wow, the 911 Porsche, currently sat in third. That is one of the weakest cars of the newer pack, actually worse than the Audi from what we've seen, but from what I was told, the Porsche in the right hands can absolutely fly, and 4/10 off the pole is definitely not bad at all. So, Sebastian Pfeiffer, take a bow, good sir. You are very much outperforming car, and that is amazing to see. And obviously, we've still got plenty of racing, and obviously, it'll be interesting to see how that car does, especially if it does finish up the front in race 1, because obviously, we've got a reverse grid race 2 from the results of race 1. So, the top 15 will get reversed, and it's going to be very interesting to see all that indeed. And I've known from experience that reverse grid races can provide a lot of action, but can also provide a lot of chaos in these races. And at somewhere like here, the second part of Zandvoort, where overtaking isn't a necessity, it's very much a luxury for some series around here. It is very difficult to overtake around here, so you need a car that you can set up to get past people or is comfortable. As there's a couple of cars going on the gravel, and just to show you how difficult it is, that's JT Tami in the Champion Motorsports car, really having a bit of an off on the exit of that corner, obviously trying to keep out of the way. And that's the only problem with this track, is there's nowhere really... A lot of these corners are quite blind if you're off the circuit, and quite blind for seeing people off the circuit anyway, so it's very difficult to keep out of people's way as Sebastian Pfeiffer just blasts past. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of people struggling in race 2 more than race 1, but we've got plenty of time left, and obviously with such a close and competitive grid, P1 Gaming does a very, very good job of picking out the drivers that they wish to race. And currently looking at the 21 Schubert Motorsports, great to see those guys here. Obviously, myself having run with those guys prior last year, and obviously those guys still running in rFactor2 and still running on iRacing as well, recently taking a class of victory in the Nürburgring 24 hours. So great to see those guys here today, and currently in 16th with Daniel Hahn. So maybe they can even push up the order, and maybe even they could get onto a reverse grid pole for race 2 if they are very lucky. So see what happens. But obviously, Simon, you've been around P1 Gaming a lot more than I have. So obviously, what are your sort of expectations coming into the first race of who you can sort of expect to see at the front?
Yeah, I would guess or bet my money on the 2 Black Horse guys, if they can keep it on the black stuff. And also, but also the 2 Renn simulanten behind Sebastian and Billy are also fast guys. And yeah, Sebastian, you mentioned him, he is pretty fast in the Porsche, and yeah, I think he mainly drives Porsches, so yeah.
And of course, the more
he
you
has
drive
a lot
the car,
of
the more you
experience,
get used to it. And yeah, so the more you drive a car, the more you get used to it, and the more you can really find the little quirks it's got and abuse them to absolute hell. As Heiko Kolvenbach goes up to 4th place, a massive improvement for him, only 0.4 seconds off the pace, so he's done a 1 minute 35, a low 1 minute 35 at that.
Yeah, and for the lap times I just checked, because the studio did over Christmas, Sylvester holidays, also a hot lap competition, and there the fastest times had been mid 34s, so we are pretty close to these times.
Yeah, and that's absolutely outstanding to see. Obviously, the Studio 397 hot lap competition, a lot of guys really try to, prove their pace, and that's what a lot of drivers want to do here. But obviously, getting closer to those times, the amount of work that people, put into those hot laps in those days, or back in Christmas when this pack was fresh out of the box. The cars have been a bit more refined, but I very much wouldn't be surprised to see us getting towards those mid 34s. So, as we're currently on board with Alex Broutcombe in the Blackhawk Racing Aston Martin, 3rd place man at the moment as he jumped past Sebastian Pfeiffer. Steven Lexo jumps up to 5th place. Alex Broutcombe very much is what he's very much a man that I've known to be extremely good at putting in those last lap qualifying times that just surprise everyone. But then again, so is Daniel Visner and Kasaba Kiss. Those, you know, 3 very experienced Blackhawk drivers at the very front of the field, all very good at pretty much last chance saloon laps. And the Aston, beautiful. The first time I've seen that colour scheme for a Blackhawk racing car as well. And yeah, I've been around the block in terms of series where they've raced. So great to see those guys with a very bull Aston Martin, a bit different from what they usually run as well. Stephen Lexo in the McLaren 720S. He is much pushing himself to get up the order. Obviously, 1 minute 35.403 is his best lap at the moment in the qualifying. And obviously, as we know, that's 4/10 off of the pole. So if he can just get that McLaren just maybe be a tiny bit more stable through the midst of the lap, it seems to be a slightly bit squirrely coming out of some of these slower corners. He'll be able to really push forward, and we might even see a McLaren versus Aston Martin for the win. But obviously, the McLaren, a lot nicer on its tyres than the Aston Martin, so obviously that's not too big an issue with the sprint race, with the feature race. It's definitely something we've got to watch for, so it will be interesting to see how everyone can do with tyre conservation in the first race. But obviously, 3.5 minutes of qualifying left, everyone's now going to start feeling the pressure, especially if they're lower down the order, so it'll be interesting to see who can take that pole position here, the esteemed pole position. But, as we know with GT racing, anything is possible and chaos can ensue even before the first corner, as we have seen multiple times in multiple series. So, it'll be very much a nice sight to see everyone get through the first lap cleanly. That Schubert car is absolutely beautiful as well. Obviously, new livery for the Schubert guys this year. Obviously, last year running the Honda NSX. One car that isn't on rFactor2, quite annoyingly, because it's actually one of the more beautiful cars, but they're back to their BMWs and back with an absolutely outstanding livery. And Daniel Hahn, starting another lap, will most likely be his final lap unless he does 2 in a row. So, see what he can do. BMW, not, again, one of the weaker cars of the field. He can maybe show a lot different, but it's very nice on its tyres as well, same as the McLaren. So long enough and you will find yourself very high up the order. Two minutes and 15 seconds left. It's just waiting for the times to come in, really. Waiting to see who will jump up to the front. But again, Blackhawk Racing 1, 2, 3, absolutely outstanding. And a lot of teams, you know, Blackhawk have got what, 5 cars? 5 cars in this race. And that 3 of them are at the front. That is outstanding to see.
Then I think the 6th car will join after qualifying.
Oh, so they're going to have 6 cars in. So, anyone who wants to place bets on the Blackhawk Racing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, place your bets now on our official betting app, the P1 Gaming. We're going to see some domination tonight.com. But obviously, anything is possible to change as Racing Spirit, the number 12 car, jumps up to 4th place ahead of Sebastian Pfeiffer. So, obviously, be very interesting to see what they can do. But just Billy Iceman currently 6th place in his McLaren 720S. Got a lot of time. We've not got much time left. And anyone who is out on track now will be on their final laps. Only, you know, maximum of 2 laps remaining if you started your lap within, you know, the 1 minute 35 mark. It'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. Just got to wait for those times to come in. And the fact that, oh, there we go. The 27 Blackhawk car, 0.08 off of pole. That was almost very much a pole position time for him. If he continues and can keep that run going, he will be able to definitely push himself up. Obviously, Savakis, very experienced indeed. But Manuel Gayson, currently best of 135.9 and a previous lap for 135. Alex Broudcombe sitting pretty on his 134, and I think he's definitely going to feel a lot safer knowing that his closest teammate, his closest rival at the moment, is his teammate. Obviously, 10 seconds left to qualifying. The clock counting down and the flag about to fly. Everyone about to start their final lap, or a couple of people starting their final laps. Flag flies. Balasfaro will be the first man to finish his session. He comes into the pit lane. So who else will continue on? Mario Bayer will come across the line. What lap will he do? Will he improve? No, he won't improve. So that is a shame for him. David Tepper, the lone radical, pulls into the pit lane. So does the Bentley behind of Gabor Fodor. So we're just waiting for these final times to come through, these final improvements. Will anyone be able to challenge Alex Brautigam? Because Alex Brautigam, a very, very quick driver. Same with Daniel Wisner and Saba Kiss. And sorry, Simon, you were going to say something.
I just want to say the second radical just joined.
We have 2 radicals this race.
Yeah, we have 2 radicals in this race.
Well, okay, I'm going to shut my mouth for the rest of the broadcast then. I thought of all the people, I didn't expect 1 radical, let alone 2 of them to turn up for this race. But maybe it's a radical circuit. We'll never know. But that will be Arnold Hausmann in the second radical for tonight's race. And obviously, we know we've got the 6th Black Hawk car waiting to turn up. But David Yunt coming across the line in the Black Hawk Racing Aston Martin. 36.0 sets a personal best. Days 16th, doesn't improve. And, well, for David Yunt, not the greatest of qualifying for the Swiss. He knows he can do a lot better. But definitely not the worst for him. So we'll see. Yeah, he's a lot better on race pace than he is in qualifying pace. So we'll be able to see what he can do come race time. Obviously, a lot of these cars just coming into the pits now off. And as we head into, the warm-up session, a lot of these guys are going to be thinking, I'm a lot further down than I wanted to be. How am I going to do in the race?
Yeah, and as far as I am informed, we may also see a lonely Corvette also joining and warm up.
Surprising that there is only a lonely singular Corvette, because the Corvette is very much a popular car and it's an extremely good car. Actually, even the S, it's not the greatest in terms of cars out of the whole pack, but it is definitely able to challenge at circuits. So, it is one of those that will be very quick as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to chuck it to a quick little break. Get yourself some popcorn, get yourself some drinks, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the action as we bring you 2 rounds of outstanding, or two races of outstanding action here from the second part of Zandvoort in the P1 Gaming GT Series. See you in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the 2019 P1 Gaming GT Series here from the Circuit Park Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Well, we had a beautiful qualifying session, a very close qualifying session at that, and we've now come back at the end of the warm-up session, going into the race session. Obviously, everyone now about to enter the grid for what is going to be an amazing first race of the day, and obviously this race will decide, the top 15 will decide the grid for race 2, because remember, the top 15 finishers here will be reversed, so your winner will start 15th and your 15th place finisher will start on pole. So that's going to be very interesting for the Black Hawk guys, and obviously as you see in qualifying, an extremely close qualifying between all of the Black Hawk cars. And then the 911, your name here, racing Sebastian Pfeiffer, an amazing qualifying in 4th. 5th was 13, 3 wide up, then the 12 Racing Spirit, then Rennen Simulation, the 209, 55 Falcon Motorsports car, the 17 Dynamic Performance, alongside the second 991, your name here, racing Porsche. The 49 Falcon Motorsports car will then line up in 11th, alongside the Dynamics Performance number 14. Then the 22 Falcon Motorsports car will be 13th, with the 16 Racing Spirit car alongside him. In place is the number 42 Hansa Racing car, and that is your 15. So those are the guys that may be the ones that will get reversed. 16th and 17th will be 2 Black Hawk cars. Then 18th will be the first and only Schubert Motorsports GT BMW here today. 19th is the 15 Falcon. Then the 20th will be the 46 TM Race Performance. 21st will be the 29 Falcon Motorsports car. Then it will be the 10 Drillers at Brutzi Racing in their Audi. The 62 Champion Motorsports car will line up alongside the 97 Champion Motorsports car. And they will be followed by the 98 Drillers Motorsports Junior car with the TM Race Performance number 47 alongside them. Then you've got the 33 Drillers Motorsports car alongside the 88 Revolution Sim Racing car. And at the back of the grid, well, it's sad to say it, but it's the 2 radicals, the number 8 and the number 32 VMADs alongside each other as we enter into the final sector, following the Audi safety car. Well, I believe it was an Audi. No, sorry, it's the NSX safety car. I thought it looked like an Audi for about a minute ago, so don't judge me. But Aston 1, 2, 3, Porsche 4, McLaren 5, Bentley 6. A good couple of manufacturers here in the top 6 positions, and as we get ready to go green, we wait for the rFactor man to call it. He will come over the radio and the green flag will fly. The safety car peels away. Let the revs rise. The drivers now floor it, and we will go green here at the Zandvoort circuit. And it was already through wise. There's already a car off, and that's the leader. The pole sitter has gone round into turn 1. That is absolutely catastrophic for the race, for the pole sitter of Alex Midlotsley. His teammate is going to take the lead in the second of the Black Hawk Aston Martins. Heiko Colvenbach looking to the inside of the Bentley, side by side, very, very close indeed. They come up the hill, down the hill, and left and right and left. Very, very tricky first sector. Not many places to overtake, but if you can get a run through here, you've got a good shot into right-hander. Very much a downhill corner. It's very difficult to actually spot your braking point for this, but Colvenbach looking very close in the Bentley in front. The 12 Bentley looking very close to the back of the 209 McLaren. 4 looking very close to the inside as a small bit of contact made, but no harm done. They're still side by side, and another little bit of argy-bargy. That's GT racing for you. Rubbin is racing. They come out towards the final sector, one of the more critical corners coming up, and Adam Hales looking at the back of the Black Hawk car. Black Hawk going from 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2 everywhere over the circuit and even in the gravel. And Bradcombe starting to make his way back up the order as John Uyan looks to the inside of the TM Audi, the 46 car. Got to get blocked off. Going through there. Beautiful looking Champion Motorsports car as Bradcombe getting very loose behind John Uyan. Obviously, Bradcombe down to 21st, loses 20 places due to that accident. of which was caused by just the McLaren going off track and other cars locking up into turn 1. Obviously, no orange zones here today, so obviously in the first lap will be reviewed, but Danny Visner in the second of the black cars will take the lead, and Sebastian Pfeiffer, the Porsche's in second. What is going on? This is a complete topsy-turvy order from what, the BOP would say, and Billy Eisman third in the McLaren. We have 4 manufacturers in the top 4, and it's absolutely amazing to see. Billy Eisman currently third, just trying to chase down the back of Pfeiffer's Porsche, and obviously Pfeiffer with a lot of experience in that Porsche, as Fedor and Kolvenbach are going at it for what is 4th place in this race. The Bentley, one of the lesser confident picks for this circuit. You want a car that is very good on the traction and a car that is pretty light around here, and that Bentley, well, it is a boat after all, and you can see the rear end really coming out, and same with Kolvenbach. His rear end really seeming to not be comfortable coming out of there, but Kolvenbach showing his nose to the inside, going, I'm here. If you haven't seen me already, I am here. But I think at this point, Fodor is very much knowledgeable that he has got that McLaren very much firmly in his mirrors. Sabakis 17th at the moment, so he got involved in that first lap, that calamity as well. And he's behind the Super Motorsports car, which is up to 15th. So great start for Daniel Hahn, getting up into the top 15, having a chance now for a first pole. Obviously, has got Johannes Mikkel and Saba Kiss behind him. So Saba looking very feisty now. Same with Alex Bradscombe. Those two wanting to make up as many places as they can to get themselves back into some very high-scoring positions. But back up the front, Fodor has still got Kolvenbach behind him. The Racing Spirit Bentley looking very, very stunning out here today. And on board with Manuel Gieson in 6th place. Just looking just so vaunted through there, and just coming down through the long right-hander of the circuit. Not great with my corner names here, and I very much apologise for that. But the Porsche just seems so beautifully settled around here, and it's great to see. So both of the 911, your name here, Porsches very much up in the top 6 together. 2nd and 6th is definitely nothing to be complaining about. There's Johannes Mikkel looking at the back of that Schubert Motorsports BMW. There's a lot going, and on board with Michel now. Oh, very late braking, nearly to the back of the Schubert BMW there. Oh, a year ago I'd have been saying the Schubert Honda, but how times change, as Daniel Hahn very much trying to look racy against the guys in front of him. They're all being held up, ironically, by an Audi at the moment. So I think that is actually Fabian Volta they're being held up behind, as Ballasfaro looking up to the back of Robin Gärtner. The overspeed of that Audi is absolutely outstanding, as Billy Eisman is now he's being coming under a massive pressure from the Bentley as he goes wide, and will then nearly have to concede the place, but thankfully keeps it going on board with Fodor from his helmet camera. You can just see how smooth his inputs are through the first sec here. That Bentley sounding absolutely beautiful here, and it's great to see it. How much lock he has to put in through there to get that Bentley turned in, as the Porsche in front just giving him a bit of grass in their face, taking a bit of lawn mowing. Porsche, we know, have gone back to rallying, but we didn't think they'd go into rallycross as well, as that is very, very much a wider line compared to the McLaren in front. Iceman seemingly comfortable in that McLaren at the moment. Obviously, Fodor not really closing up as we look at the back a bit further. That is going to be Daniel Hahn versus Saba Kiss. Saba Kiss on the inside, and there's contact. Them are off. Saba Kiss understeering off, going round the front of the BMW of Daniel Hahn, and that was a complete racing incident. Saba Kiss just ran out wide. Maybe the rear end came out and just looped it round, and just obviously came into the front of Hahn, and Hahn obviously trying to not get involved, as that is also Ballasfaro in front, crabbing, it looks like. He is very, very slow in the other Black Hawk Aston. Black Hawk have gone from gold to absolute spoils. It's gone from hero to zero. They looked so promising in qualifying, and it's just all fallen apart in this first race. And Sabakis bails into the pit lane. I wouldn't be surprised if he's joined by his teammate. And Fabian Volter is in as well in the Audi. Obviously 12 minutes left. This does include a mandatory pit stop. But Sijem Nabuz trying to have a look at the back of JT Tarmy, who is at the same time trying to have a look at the back of Simon Scott. This is Audi, McLaren and Aston Martin. Drillers Motorsport Audi looking a bit worse for wear at the moment. So it's obviously been in the walls a little bit, but nothing too bad at all. They're both getting on with it. And that Aston Martin looking so much better through that first sector compared to the McLaren. And that is Tarmy having a look on the inside. And the McLaren is really sideways coming off. He's going to go off and concede the position to Nabuz. Simon Scott in the RSR McLaren having to drop it off. And he's now going to have... He's going to have the Radical. The Radical is up to 25th. The Radical in 25th. Arnold Hausmann has gotten past his teammate and is already on the back of Simon Scott. So the car that started 30th, he's gained 5 places in this race. And now Heiko Kolbenbach has gone for, getting very sideways out of the exit. Is now on the back of Manuel Gaysen. But due to that slide, it's going to drop off. A lot of cars still in the pit lane, as you can see. As Nabuz, Jens Kays is dropping down the order. He's dropped down a multitude of 3 positions as he is in the barrier. What has happened to Jens Kays? He was looking very strong. Promotes the Radical up another place. So I'm doing very well with my Radicals today, aren't I? The Radicals outperforming what I expected them to do, so I'm very proud of them at the least. But Daniel Wisner, 2 seconds in the lead from Sebastian Pfeiffer. Well, when 2 Blackhawk cars drop, you need at least one of them to finish, as he nearly gets very loose coming out of the exit there. Sebastian Pfeiffer really pushing on. He's not actually got that big a gap to Billy Eisman. It's only 1.5 seconds at the moment. But getting very close indeed. But Billy Eisman still has Gabor Fedor behind him. But obviously, Simon, I'm joined again. Simon, you're on the race control for this, as you know, we all know very well by now. That first lap incident, racing incident, or would you put in the blame on someone on that one?
The Blackhawk internal crash?
Yeah, the Blackhawk internals, the 2 Blackhawks coming together at turn 1, causing both of them to implode out of the top 2 positions.
I also didn't check a replay so far because we don't have a live stewarding. But I was on the scene, and for me it looked like the Blackhawk behind, I think it was Xaba, outbraked himself a bit and hit Alex. But yeah, we need to check it with the rest of the stewards afterwards. Because, yeah, it was first lap incident, or first sector incident. And there's not only this one, there was a bit too much carnage for my taste.
Well, I did say that, you know, with GT racing here at Zandvoort, you can get accidents even before the first corner, and well, they lasted more than before the first corner. They made it to the first corner before the Blackhawks imploded on themselves, as that is Thomas Prince losing a position to Zijem Nabuz. So the 2 Drillers cars now, line astern. And great to see those 2 there, pushing their way forward, hopefully, but obviously it's a shame for both Blackhawk cars to come together. I didn't exactly see who the second car involved was, but obviously it's both Blackhawks, so there's going to be some stern words going on in that team speak at the moment, or some expletives going on of them, you know, having a calm conversation with each other, shall we say,
It
as
depends.
that incident went off.
Yeah, it depends if they share one channel or if they're in separate, if they're Blackhawk but in different teams, and or then do their own channels for each team. You need to check.
That is actually very true. I'm used to most teams in most races when they're together being in the same Discord channel, but we have Daniel Vedsig having a look at the back of Louis Rohn, the Aston Martin, coming under a lot of pressure from that beautiful McLaren. But the Aston just has the top speed, but the McLaren now in the slipstream with the overspeed to the inside of turn 1. The Aston comes over in the braking zone. A little bit of bumping. The Aston loses a rear end. It's going to have a worse exit The McLaren tries pulling along alongside and doesn't make the place. As I've just had a bit of a tidbit on the rear wing of the Aston Martin, which reads Davar Platz, which means there was a gap. So at least we know if anyone goes into the back of it, Aston, we know what the driver was reading at least. That's an interesting little tidbit I've learned for the day. Obviously, I'm not the greatest with a lot of foreign languages to myself, and obviously I'm doing my best to learn them, but I struggle at learning them. So little tidbits like that do make me laugh, and at least the Aston driver of Louis Ron has a good sense of humour underneath his helmet, and obviously Vetsig very now much coming under pressure from the 29 Falcon car behind. So
Yeah,
as you hear Simon laughing in the background.
I just checked it because I have my own camera, and yeah, that just means there's space, or that there had been space. You still can read it.
But we have to look back to the fight for a second, because Sebastian Pfeiffer is coming under pressure from the Rennen simulation McLaren. Billy Iceman looking very, very close indeed, and he's not going to make the move into turn one, but he has been slowly setting himself up for a multitude of laps to try and close up. Only 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in this first race of two, and they can still see Daniel Wisner in front of them, but he is 3 seconds up the road. But Billy Iceman doing an amazing job to close up, and the quite literal your name here, Porsche in front. Might buy that space out for myself, really, see how we can do. But the Porsche obviously really pushing forward and actually holding its own out there at the moment. The Racing Spirit car behind, the Bentley, only 2.5 seconds off these guys, but Billy Iceman really trying to close in, and through that middle sector he just doesn't seem to be able to find the pace at the moment. But we'll see as we come to the end that McLaren close up, because that is where he's been gaining the majority of this time at the moment. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention this before the broadcast. I was having in the qualifying, me and Simon here we made a little bet, I believe it was, and we said, so who'd you put your money on for the race? And from what I remember, I think Simon said that he was going to go for the Black Hawk cars. So Simon, your payout's going to become a bit less than you expected, as JT Itami dives up the inside of one of the TM race performance cars.
Yeah, but maybe a bad payout, but still you'll get your money back.
Well, it depends how many you voted on finishing where, really. Obviously, if you voted on them being a 1, 2, 3, well, they just imploded your wallet out of your hands there, my good sir. But Adam Hales currently in the second of the Racing Spirit Bentley Continentals, currently 12th. Looking at the back of the Black Hawk Racing Aston Martin, the 66, who I believe is David Yunt, goes to the inside, side by side into turn one. Last of the late breakers. Plenty of room left between the two, and Hales will make the moves.
Great move, yeah.
And Daniel Hahn is having a look in the background as well, because that W is getting ever closer to the rear wing of that Aston Martin. And he's going to have a little look here on the exit, going a bit tighter through there. Coming down towards the end of the first sector. And BMW is currently in 13th. It has made up some places from the start of this race. Starting 17th, is up 4 places from the start. And now really, really pushing on. But coming through. Now that Daniel Hales has been through, he is now free to chase up to the back of the 29 Falcon Aston Martin. They called it an Audi then. God, that'd be a bit insultive to the Aston Martin. As Heiko Kolvenbach is having a look now on the back of the champion Aston Martin in front. And he is on the hunt after a pit stop. So he's obviously made a pit stop at the, and he is now chasing him the way down, trying to get back. And he's only got 3.5 minutes left. So only a couple of laps left in this race.
And it's a battle for the pole.
It's side by side though. Side by side through the penultimate corner. It's not going to work. He's to back out of it. But he was looking very, very feisty as he now comes onto the back in the slipstream. The champion motorsports car in front has the slipstream itself. Kolvenbach looks to the inside, holds back, but takes a tight line. He might have him on the exit, puts the power down. The two are side by side as they come through 2 into 3. The McLaren takes it. Kolvenbach into the top 15 and on for reverse grid pole. Amazing move. Not making it work through the penultimate corner, not making it work through turn 1, but making it work on the midst and the exit of the corner. An outstanding overtake by Kolvenbach. As we look at Gartner having a look at the back of Devar Platz Aston Martin. I'm going to rename it the Devar Platz Aston Martin now instead of the Dynamics Performance car. We'll see if there was a gap in a moment for Robin Gartner to go through. Just not seeming to find any at the moment. Aston making its rear end wider than the track itself. Coming into the penultimate corner, have Lewis there, sorry, not Lewis Rose, sorry, that is the car in front. They have Stephen Lexo not that far up the road. So Stephen Lexo currently 6th in his McLaren 720S, doing a great job. First time I've seen him in a GT car, seen him in a Formula car multiple times before, but he is doing an outstanding job here today. And Robin Gartner trying as much as he can close up, but Aston just has so much overspeed, but Gartner just closes up through turn 1 and through the exit. As you come through turn 2 and into turn 3, it's such a beautiful place as John Uyan and Daniel Wetzig are going chopping and changing places as Daniel Hahn is up to 11th place, ladies and gentlemen. So he has made up another couple of places in this race. There's more cars, I believe, in the pit lane. I believe Wetzig is in the pit lane. Yes, he is. So Wetzig leaving the pit lane now is going to drop behind Hausmann. So Hausmann up 22nd. But Daniel Hahn doing a great job in the BMW. I said the BMW is kind on its tyres, and it's really showing to be kind on its tyres. It still seems to have plenty of grip left. And obviously, less than a minute to go. We'll have a lap left after this because Daniel Wisner is coming through the final corner and he will come across with about 30 seconds left on the clock. So 1 lap to go this time by, and that will mean not a lot of time for Billy Eisman to make the move. So can the McLaren come out on top of the Porsche? This is for 14th and 13th in the reverse grid race. For the reverse grid, sorry. As more cars bail into the pit lane, 15 seconds on the clock left, so this will be the final lap, 100%, as Daniel Wisner coming into traffic, about to lap David Tepper in the second of the Radicals. But look at how close Billy Eisman's getting to the back of Pfeiffer. And you can see the race sprint Bentley in the background, 2.5 seconds off the back of them. On board with Eisman as we come up the hill and down. See how planted that Porsche is. The mid-rear end. I believe this is the mid-engine Porsche. I'm not sure. I know the GTE car is mid-engine. I'm not sure if the GT3 version at this current time is mid-engined as well. I'm probably about to be corrected. It's rear-engine. Thank you, Ricardo, for correcting me. The rear-engine Porsche really finding some grip, and Eisman trying to find everything he can in that McLaren. It's just not working out, and the clocks tick down, and Wisner you can see in traffic in front. It's going to be a do or die move for Eisman. Eisman really closing up, but I think that Pfeiffer knows he's not got to do much more. Wisner gets past the traffic, and Eisman won't be able to make a move to the final corner. So Daniel Wisner, a dominant first race, lights flag after his teammates imploded and took each other off at the first corner. Daniel Wisner will take the victory for Black Hawk Racing, and Sebastian Pfeiffer second for Your Name Here Porsche. Billy Eisman third, Fodor will be fourth, and Gayson fifth. We're looking at the fight for the 10th at the moment between Hales and Daniel Hahn. A top 10 finish from 17th on the grid for Hahn will be an absolutely outstanding result. The Bentley and the BMW through the final corner, and Hales will hold the top 10 place. Will done a very good job indeed, and Daniel Hahn will finish P11. a beautiful finish. We're going to keep looking down the grid because there's a fight for 17th as well. That's not the fight for 17th, sorry. But Mario Bayer is stuck behind the Drillers Motorsport Audi at the moment. Oh, it's very loose on the rear, and that is a fight for 17th, but it's not going to work. Nick Adem will hold it. Mario Bayer 18th, and Hausmer and Thomas Prince would be 19th. Simon Scott is 22nd, and David Tepper a lap down in 24th place. The Radical not finishing inside the top 20. Well, his Radical not finishing inside the top 20. I take that back because Arnold Hausman finished 20th. So the Radical not finishing too well. Finished inside the top 20, which is very respectable.
Just restarting warm-up.
Well, as you see, Black Hawk Racing Blue 99 wins by 2.5 seconds over the Porsche. Renn Simulation will take 3rd place, Racing Spirit 4th, and then the second of the Porsches 5th place. But we're going to throw it to a break. Ladies and gentlemen, grab yourself another drink, get yourself sorted and calm down again, because we've got another race, a reverse grid race, the top 15 on your screen, back to front. We're going to have a great race and some great overtakes. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Single file, the caution lights are down, George is. Green flag. Eric McNutt stalls it on the back straightaway, the yellow comes out. He might never win a Grand Prix.
Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're refreshed. I hope you're ready for what is going to be a long 45-minute race here at the Circuit Park Zandvoort. Welcome back. I am Alex Skinner, bringing you the action alongside my ever-faithful cameraman, Ricardo. And I made a stupid mistake calling Ricardo Brockman. It's Ricardo Edelman, and I'm very sorry, Ricardo. I'm an idiot completely, and my head has been all over the place. I'm thinking of someone completely different from this morning. But anyway, we are back with what is going to be the feature race for today. Obviously, 45 minutes and a mandatory pit stop. It's going to be a very interesting one. And obviously, we've got that reverse grid race, the top 15 from race 1 reverse. So Daniel Visner is going to be starting from 15th, and he's going to be behind that fighting pair of Sebastian Pfeifman and the McLaren 720S. So it's going to be interesting indeed, and we're going to have a lot of racing, a lot of action, and hopefully not as much chaos. But as we move into the race, everyone's got 30 seconds to get themselves on the grid. As you can hear the yes from our race director Simon Christeman, as he had to reset the grid with about 5 seconds left.
No, I was already out of the warm-up session. No, the yes was because of the race time.
The race time is perfect, and you can see John Uyan taking the pole, and you can see that BMW in 5th place. The Schubert guys will be very happy with that as the pace car pulls off. P1 Gaming Honda NSX pulls away, and well, your grid for this one is going to be interesting. John Uyan for Champion Motorsports will line up on pole position, and alongside him will be the 15 Falcon of Yannick Malaika. 3rd place is going to be Heiko Kolvenbach, and he's going to be looking to improve from where he finished last time out. 4th place is going to be David Junt for Black Hawk Racing. He didn't finish that great, but he's going to be starting a lot higher than he was last time out. And then 5th, Daniel Hahn, an amazing drive by him. He's going to be looking to take a podium in this second race. 6th place is Adam Hales, the highest starting at the moment of the two Bentley Continental GTs in this race. Then we've got Johannes Michel in the second of the Falcon Aston Martins, the 29 car. Then we have Robin Gardner. He will start P8 in his very beautiful Aston Martin. Then Louis Roen will start where he finished in the there was a gap Aston Martin. In 10th place will be Stephen Lexo. He's going to be hoping he can improve in his McLaren. Then it's the highest starting of the Porsches here, and your name here, Porsches, Manuel Giesen. Then it's going to be the second of the Racing Spirit Bentleys, Gabor Fedor. Then 13th, Billy Eisman. And 14th will be your second place man from last time out, Sebastian Pfeiffer. He's got a lot to do to improve from here. And then it's your winner from last time out, Daniel Visner. Will he take the victory here? I don't know, but it's going to rely on strategy for this one. 16th place is going to be the second of the Champion Motorsports Aston Martins is JT Tarmy, followed by Nikodem Vizbicki. 18th is going to be Mario Bayer. 19th will be Thomas Prince. 20th will be Arnold Hausmann. Then it will be Simon Scott, Daniel Vetzig, Tijem Neburs, David Tepper, Roy van Gendman, Jens Kees, Balasvaro, Sabakis, Fabian Volta, and Alex Brauticum as we get underway. I got it just in time, and John Uyan will lead the field away as we go green, and they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. McLaren, Alston, and Aston, and then 3 wide for the second row and the third row. John Uyan's going to lose 3 places in one corner as David Junt's on the outside. We get away cleanly through turn 1. David Junt up to 3rd place in the Black Hawk Aston Martin. It's an Aston 2, 3, 4 as a McLaren will lead away. Daniel Hahn in the Schubert BMW pushing his way up. He's up to 6th place, and there contact as he gets into the side of Louis Thorn. Keep going though, and now he has got the Falcon Motorsports Aston Martin behind him, alongside the Bentley, who is now becoming under pressure from one of the Porsches. I want to say that is Manuel Galsen. So I'm looking for the second Porsche, and you can just about see him. So the Porsches have managed to hold their places as the Bentley getting very loose. Galsen having a look on the outside. Should be able to pull this off with the grip it's got. now putting the power down. It switches left. Late braking move. Gets into the inside of the Bentley. And that's job done. That is job done. And Gesem will hold this unless the Bentley can keep it down. But the power of the Bentley is just able to keep it going on the brakes. He's going to back out of it. Allow Gesem through. Live to fight another day. Pick your fights. And that Porsche, very, very beautiful indeed. But we come through now. The Iceman having a look at the back. And you can see Gabba Fedor under pressure from your top two from last time out. As Visner side by side with Pfeiffer. As there's contact, Visner losing the rear end, keeps it under control. And now Pfeiffer under pressure from the Driller's Audi of Nicodem. Nicodem onto the outside. And there is JT Tami on the outside of Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer trying to make a move. And he's going to hold the 16th place, but he's going to lose a place. But out front, Heiko Kolvenbach doing an amazing job out front, just pulling away, and that's all he needs to do. And you can see already the gap he's got over second and third, who are still going at it. Yannick Malaika and David looking ever so feisty in this second race. Oh, as Malaika gets loose, you're nearly having to get past him. And the rear wing, how hard can it be? Well, it could be extremely hard to overtake here. You're trying to find every single opportunity. And if the TV screen was working, we'd be able to see in the rearview mirror that very, very obvious McLaren. But David Yunt doing all he can. Sorry, it's the Aston Martin as John Uyan is still managing to hold fourth. I thought that Stephen Lexo had gotten past. Louis Gruen is very much flashing the back of Daniel Hahn, who's up to sixth now. Daniel Hahn looking for a top 5 finish at the moment. And Billy Iceman still now stuck behind Manuel Gaia. So Gaia still doing an amazing job in the Porsche to hold Iceman off. Coming through the penultimate corner is Sebastian Pfeiffer up to 15th. And Daniel Visner, look up front. Daniel Visner side by side through the final corner. He is going to be side by side. They come to the start, finish straight. This is very, very close indeed. Side by side, the Aston has the grunt. The McLaren doesn't. We've known this from the BOP. The Aston to the inside. Visner goes through. Easy job done. McLaren backing out. So next target for Visner is that Bentley Continental. It's John Uyan now right on the back, fight for second place. And that is a huge train for second place. You can see it. This is what happens in reverse grid races. David Yunt still trying to have a look on the back of Malaika. Malaika just not able to, get away from the Swiss. And the Swiss just not able to get past Malaika. But John Uyan just holding it steady. It's all he needs to do. As you can see, Malaika just putting his car in the middle of the track and basically saying, go on, David, find a way through. And you're not one of those guys who'll go for suicidal dive bombs. Very much one of those drivers who just fights and goes, I could make it, but it would be risky, so I'm going to not. As Gayson now very much closing up to the back of the second Falcon car. Whether he can make a move or not is going to be another question. But we will see. These guys very, very close indeed. Second to 15th is all in this fight for second place at the moment. As we look back to 27th, Skyman Scott under pressure from the Drillers Motorsports Audi. As Nikodem Visbecki is down the order quite a fair bit now, down to 26. So he must have had an issue early on. He's now, I believe, behind Fabian Volta. So Fabian Volta pushing his way up. Fijem Nabuz is on the back of his other teammate. He is 29th. But just so many cars all in that fight for second place at the moment on board Manuel Gayson in the Porsche. And another one on the back of the second Falcon car is all the time you have to leave at the space. Well, it's a very Fernando Alonso-esque quote, and hopefully we don't see a Fernando-esque retirement from the Aston Martin. As look at the overspeed that Gayson has in that Falcon car. That Falcon car definitely set up for the corners instead of the straights. Come down through the second sector. As Daniel Visner, just look at the track map on the right of your top right of your screen. Wow. Daniel Visner with a huge gap over the rest of the field. Or not Daniel Visner, sorry. I'm so used to Daniel Visner being up the front. But Kolvenbach extremely far up the front in the McLaren. That one target, 3 wide car is absolutely outstanding on pace at the moment. Just see no one in his rear view. He's just gone.
Yeah, and also
But David Yunt up to second as well. So David Yunt has gotten past Malaika. So Malaika now under pressure from John Huyon as David Yunt gets a bit sideways through there. But Yannick Malaika, very, very close indeed. Stephen Lexo now having a look. So maybe that McLaren will make a move. Lexo in 5th, he's looking for 4th. Brakes just slightly later, goes a lot wider. As Daniel Hahn is fighting for his life for 6th place. Not seemingly got the speed to keep up with the guys in front on pace alone. He's having to do a lot of defending as Malaika now drops back into the clutches of John Huyon and Stephen Lexo again. Those guys now ever so close. Now Yunt is free. He's going to go and chase down the leader. You can see he's already checked out from 3rd. It's Yannick Malaika. So Yannick is a cork in the bottle at the moment, and only a couple of people have managed to find the bottle opener at the moment. So see what Malaika can do. You can see Stephen Lexo getting very aggressive at the moment. There's Malaika's rear end coming out from the rear indeed. As a joke from cameraman Ricardo Eldman, Yannick is the new P1 safety car. Wouldn't surprise me, he's able to hold up a train of cars without them getting past him, so he would do a very good job as a safety car driver. But John Huyon trying to have a look, he's going to go for it. But he's going to back out at the last moment. Going to compromise him through the middle part of the corner. It's one of those corners where you can get away with a dive like that, but you don't really want to. See just the mid-corner speed of Huyon's of Champion Motorsport Aston Martin. Couldn't get past. He could not for the life of him make up place in the first race, but he is holding his own in the second, up in 4th moment, looking for the podium, looking for the first podium of the season. He's going to go to the side. He's going to break a lot later, force the issue. He's going to force the issue on the inside, but he's not going to make it because of the fact that Malaika is able to hold it. But Malaika is not finding it. Huyon needs to switch back through, turn through there. As that's Stephen Lexo on the inside. Lexo trying to have a look, but Lexo not going to make it work, and it's going to allow Daniel Hahn onto the back of him. Daniel Hahn in the Stube Motorsports BMW looking very racy now. He has got the overspeed. Oh, is that a spin? That is a spin for Stephen Lexo. And he's going to collect Hahn and also Louis Ron. And they're all going to get out of it. But with what damage are they going to have on that car? That's going to allow Pfeiffer into 11th. That's going to allow Wisner into 8th place now. But that was absolutely tragic. And that was no one's fault. That was a racing incident. And everyone just unlucky to be caught up in that. But everyone luckily all the cars behind making it through. But that is now going to unleash a lot of drivers get up to the back of Malaika. Huyon is past, looks to be not, is he past Malaika now? He is past Malaika. So John Huyon has gotten past Yannick Malaika in the meantime. No, he has not. I take that back. I apologise. My brain is completely fading today, it seems. It's because he's got the other Falcon car. The other Falcon car going very wide behind him. That's got to allow Ison and Fedor through. Fedor to the inside. The Bentley with the overspeed. And there's another of the Black Hawk cars. That is Wisner. So Wisner to the inside. He's looking for this. And it's going to be nearly 3 wide. But there's going to be contact. Argy-bargy. Wisner onto the grass. He's going to come on. There's going to be contact with him and Fedor. And the Bentley rejoins just in the midst of those of the McLaren and Sebastian Pfeiffer. So Pfeiffer pushing his way through as that's going to be side by side through the exit. But Bentley Porsche, Bentley McLaren, and wow, everyone seems to be a bit line astern here at the moment. But thankfully, everyone getting through okay. A couple of cars in the pit lane at the back. But Johannes Michel doing a great job at the moment in 6th place. Obviously, he went off, and that's what gifted those guys the plate, sort of bottlenecked everybody out. He's now going to have Daniel Wisner, obviously title leader after round 1, of course. But Daniel Wisner looking very, very close indeed to the back of Johannes Mission. But David Jun, he has had a storming start and he is closing up. I think he's closing up to the back of Kolvenbach. So he is doing a great job himself, is the Swiss. Obviously very experienced Swiss. He's done a lot of racing in both formulas and cars. As Yannick Malaika seems to have got a gap over John Uyan, so Uyan's pace has dropped here, but Wisner being very feisty on the back of the second of the Falcon cars. On board, looking rearward from Michel's car. And Wisner just closing. Play the Jaws music on that straight and it would get ever tenser. But amazing so far. And a lot of these cars, 14th down is still a huge train as well. But Gabor Fedor in the first of the Bentleys, and the only two of the Bentleys here today. Doing a great job. That's a racing spirit car, but that's got Speedy Mite on it. So that is something I very much can recognise as the racing spirit car gets very, very sideways through there. And there's Pfeiffer. That is Pfeiffer, I believe. It is Pfeiffer in the Your Name Here Porsche. Getting very close to the back of Fedor. They come through at Bentley. Just like you can't see half the track when you're behind the Bentley. That's how wide it is. Just coming down that straight. Just no one able to make a real move here because Wisner is sort of stuck. Could I say that? Wisner and Michel come together. I want to say it was a bit late from Wisner on the braking there. But Daniel Wisner and neither of them coming off worse for wear. And that rear wing, making a bit of a point. All the time you have to leave the space. Well, Wisner didn't really give much space. He was sort of on the inside. But maybe Wisner can get the run. He's got the run. But Michel goes to the inside. Gonna force Wisner. And there's a spin car. That is Gaia in the spinning Porsche. As Wisner's going to go off. Wisner is going to lose 2 places. And then there's contact with him in the McLaren. So he's going to lose even more places now. Oh, and he's contacts into the back of the McLaren. It's all going wrong for Blackhawk. As there is Fedor. Fedor side by side with Wisner. Wisner's going to hold it, but Daniel Wisner, what are you doing, man? You can't be this aggressive. It settles down now, and Billy Iceman having a look at the back of Fedor, and these guys just need to calm down. You've still got another half an hour to go, and a pit stop that. Don't want to cause yourself any unnecessary damage by, causing any contact, as Daniel Hahn, after that accident, down to 12th place, trying to make up some places, but not able to get past that McLaren in front. Whew, relax. Can breathe. Everything's calm. For all of 30 seconds until someone tries to make another lunge. And I can see that already because Wisner's trying to have a lunge at the car in front. I want to say that is the Falcon car. He's side by side coming to the penultimate corner. It's McLaren off in the background, but gets back on. Michel goes wider, but Wisner's not going to have the run. Oh, as Michel gets sideways, Wisner's going to have the run on the inside this time by. Nothing that Michel can do. He's going to have to concede that place. As he comes across, tries to almost take off Daniel Wisner. Obviously not intentionally. We thought he was clear. But Wisner up into the top 5. If he could, he won't. I don't think he'll have a chance of winning this race because he's very far back. He's got to get. He's got to get past Uyan and Malaika. But Michel now struggling to keep that keep the momentum going, and he's going to come under immense pressure from the Bentley. We have a look at Tijan Nebers, currently 20th place for the Drillers Motorsports Brutzi car. But here's Fedor on the back of Michel as they come into, or as they're coming through the second sector towards the final sector. As that is a Porsche, that's Pfeiffer off in the background. So Pfeiffer off, loses a place to the Bentley. so easy to make a mistake here, and when you do make a mistake, you will be bitten for it. Now, will Fedor have a lunge coming into here? Be very close indeed. He's not going to have a lunge, but the Bentley behind. Pfeiffer around the outside of the Bentley. That is a beautiful move by Sebastian Pfeiffer. Around the outside. Absolutely outstanding job, Pfeiffer. Fedor makes his way behind Michel. Because none of the leaders are in the pit lane as of yet. Obviously, still 28 minutes to go. They'll try and push this as far as they can. But looking back from Michel's car.
And also, they're not forced to do a pit stop. They can.
Oh, they're
run
not forced to?
No.
Ah, I take that back. I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Strategy is completely open for the drivers. If they want, they can, but I think it's quicker without pit stop.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if it's quicker here without the stop. There's a lot of cars who are in the pit lane have, had to come back from very far down the order. On currently 11th, he's made it place up, as a matter of fact, after getting past the McLaren behind. Now on the back of the second of the Bentley Continentals. There's Daniel Visner, who looks to the back of John Uyan's Aston Martin. I was about to say McLaren. I've never seen Uyan race a McLaren. I've seen him race a Corvette, and that's about it. But Daniel Visner looking very close to the back of Uyan. And just so much more speed than Uyan through the mid-corner. The Black Cork car very much seeming stronger here. And with his teammate up in second place at the moment, this is absolutely great news for them in terms of teams titles. But obviously not racing for the same team, those two. Visner looking to the inside. He won't make a move here or make it down the start-finish straight, but he's got Malika in front, so it's going to be a three-way fight for what is the podium. They come out the final corner. Daniel Visner looks to the back. And he's got the overspeed, even with Uyan in the slipstream of the car in front. Uyan is going to brake as late as he dare. Visner to the inside. Just about avoids contact, and you could see the dents on the chrome of Uyan's car with how beautiful the graphics are here today. And Fedor looking to the back of Michel as Pfeiffer trying to make up for lost time after his little moment. Looking back from Uyan's start. Visner just seeming more comfortable around here, and you can see the damage on the nose of Visner's car as we look at Yannick Malika, who's in front of these two guys at the moment, those two sparring behind him. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Visner through anytime soon. And he's actually having a look here. Visner to the inside. He's going to be on the outside for the next corner. So Uyan's going to have right of way in terms of corner. Visner looking for the exit, but the rear end slides. Not ideal for Daniel Visner. He's going to have a look on the inside maybe here. No, he sits behind the experienced American. But the experienced American slow through the mid-corner. So Visner just taps the back of him. Gives him a little love tap. Nothing wrong with that at all. But Uyan definitely holding up Daniel Visner's progress here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him moving to turn one. And Visner very much with the overspeed. But doesn't seem to be able to close up. So Uyan must have got a better exit that time by. Coming through. Making their way out of turn one, through two, and then into three. Just see where Visner's more confident, just visually. As Uyan takes a tight line through four. See the scratches on the paintwork of Visner's car from the contact he's had. Coming up the hill, and then back down it. Visner just you can see where he's quicker, just can't make the move. And as I said earlier, overtaking is a luxury, not a necessity. Surprised there's not an overtaking tax on it at this point. But there's Visner to the inside again, same place as last lap. He's going to be on the outside yet again, but there's contact between the two. And Uyan's going to hold it. Visner not able to cut back as well as he liked. The rear end comes out again. He's going to try for the run. Down into the chicane. To the inside goes Visner. Late braking. There's going to be contact and he spins John Uyan. He's going to spin him round 90 degrees. He's going to spin around 185 into the back of him. Daniel Visner, what is going on today, man? He's now going to become under pressure from the 12 Bentley. That is Fedor. Fedor to the inside of the penultimate corner. And Visner cuts across the front. He's lucky that Fedor wasn't further up. Otherwise, he would have been round and round like he did to John Uyan. As see there, Johannes Michi. As they go 3 wide into turn 1 almost. As Pfeiffer late braking the Porsche. Beautiful on the brakes. Oh, as Mikkel just understeers. Nothing anyone could have done there, really. Beautiful move by Mikkel to hold that place, and Pfeiffer nearly holding it. Just got the overspeed on the McLaren and makes his way up to 7th place at the moment. But talking point, Daniel Visner, what are you doing, man? Daniel Visner very much way too aggressive in this second race, in my honest opinion. But we'll see. That's left for race control to decide. And obviously, the race control man alongside me in the booth, being very quiet for obvious reasons if he's focusing on absolute all the chaos that's going on here. And Adam Hales, in the second of the Race Spirit Bentleys at the moment, has got P10, that BMW behind him. So they've obviously made up places due to Uyan being turned around, and Uyan down to 13th. So drops 9 places. And he's now behind his teammate JT Talmy as well. So Talmy will go, what the hell, why are you behind me? But a shame for Uyan, was running well, was defending well. And Mikkel is now on the back for Fedor. Obviously Mikkel not really had the pace at the start. He's sort of been there or thereabouts. Obviously Malaika being the cork in the bottle, and obviously with no pit stops, everyone's got to do this on track. The leader's coming into traffic as well. But it's the important fight is for P6 at the moment. Mikkel very, very close to the back of Fedor, and Pfeiffer very close to the back of Mikkel. There have been positions changing further down, but sadly we don't have the tower up at the moment, so, you know, those people a bit further down. As you can actually see from that camera shot where the race leader is, where Kelvin Bach is. He is miles ahead of these guys. He is 28 seconds ahead of the third place fighters. Well, as one of the radicals goes off. But he is miles, literally miles ahead of the rest of the field at the moment. An outstanding job with only 20 minutes remaining. And David Junt, 8.8 seconds behind Kolvenbach. David Junt doing all he can to close down. He's 19 seconds ahead of Malaika. That is how slow Malaika is at the moment. But because everyone else has been clattering into each other and, you know, taking each other off, no one's gotten past Malaika. So Malaika's been happily sat there, running his in third place, going, oh, everyone's taking themselves off behind me. What should I do? Oh, I'll just continue at this pace and see if it continues. But now, we've got the very aggressive Daniel Visner, who, as we've seen, not afraid to do anything he can to get past, and on board with Daniel Visner. Visner probably going to have some stern words with the race director after this race, as Pfeiffer around the outside of Mikkel. It's game, set and match for Sebastian Pfeiffer. He's now going to go and close down the back of Gabor Fedor. As Mikkel now under pressure from Iceman. Iceman really closing in. Oh, as he gets loose. But Iceman's made up places as well, obviously, remember. He started very much at the back as Visner on the back of Yannick Malaika. And how hard can it be? Well, it's very hard to overtake you, it seems, Yannick. You're very much good at holding your own. And that Aston, very much able to make itself as wide as the track we have here today. It's probably about as wide as the entire country of the Netherlands at this rate. And obviously, with the news that this track is going to be on the Formula 1 calendar next year, It's going to have some changes made to it, so hopefully it doesn't affect the racing we see here in GTs. But obviously, Visner, small bit of oversteer as he comes through, floors it down the back straight. He's not going to go for a dive. He's learnt his lesson. Going to go for a cutback on the exit here. He's to the inside. There's a bit of a love tap. Malika goes a small bit wider, but it's not going to make a difference. Visner going to have to wait until the start-finish line, set himself up. But Daniel Visner really, really pushing on here. As that's Malika going wide, so Visner to the inside. That will be easy pickings for Visner. As Malika might look to challenge back if he can get the slipstream, but he's not going to be able to. He's got not enough speed. Daniel Visner up to third, and he is now going to be chasing down his Swiss teammate of David Jun. 21 seconds he's got to catch us. That is Malika, Sebastian Pfeiffer and Gabor Fedor going at it for the top for 5th place. As you can see, Billy Eisman having a look at the back of Johannes Michel. Michel not really able to make any gains. He's losing a lot of time. As you can see in the camera shot, race leader just there on the right. But Billy Eisman trying to make it work, and it's just really not working at the moment. Pfeiffer really trying to make it through, but there you can see Eisman trying to look. Now, will he have a look on the inside? No, he won't. He's going to hold it. Maybe back off and set himself up. As Pfeiffer goes wide. So that's going to really compromise his run. They come through. Pfeiffer, thankfully not losing too much time. It's the guys behind him. There's obviously Eisman, very, very close indeed to the back of Michel. But you could see Malika already caught by Gabor Fedor. And I wouldn't be surprised if Fedor makes a move in the next coming corners. Because Fedor is only 3/10 back through turn 1. He locks up into turn 1 with how much he had. But this is the fight we need to focus on because Fedor is very, very close indeed. He looks to the inside of 3 and the outside of 4. Not going to work, but if he can get the run on the exit, he's going to definitely have this move made. Through 5, 6, 7. Maybe he'll have a look into 8. He's going to definitely have the inside. No, he holds it back, so he's not going to make a move through turn 8. But he might make a move into turn 9. Look at the speed he's got. Look at the run he's got into turn 9. Still not going to be able to make that move stick. But he has just got so much more pace than Malika. And obviously he's got Pfeiffer behind him. But he knows the quicker he gets past Malika, the quicker that he gets away from Sebastian Pfeiffer behind. There. You just see Fedor. I wouldn't be surprised if Fedor, you see Malika going defensive nearly. Fedor doesn't look like a move. He probably could have made a move if he broke late enough. Bentley pretty heavy, so it's pretty quick. Even though it has got a lot of momentum behind it. It's a quick car to stop. Look through here. Pfeiffer chasing down these two. And that will definitely be a move for Fedor because he is the run, I believe, on Malika. Malika goes defensive. Fedor to the outside of turn 1. And Pfeiffer trying to have a look, trying to sneak up the inside. Not going to work for Sebastian Pfeiffer, but he very much wanted to make that move stick, and it's not going to work out. Gabor Fedor very much looking to the outside, and he's now going to try and cut back to the inside. This is just allowing these guys behind to close up, though. And Fedor still has to sit there. Daniel Visner not gapping, or sorry, not closing in on anyone. He's still 21 seconds behind his teammate. As that's a Drillers Motorsport car stopped there. Who is that stopped on the exit there? Because that is actually very dangerous indeed. Everyone getting through. That was Nikodem Visbicki. Has the engine died? Is he able to move? He's not moving. He needs to escape off track if he can't move. Because he is going to cause an accident if he is not careful. Oh, as he does! As he does, that is Fabian Volta into the back of him. Nicodem, what are you doing? You've got control of your steering. Just escape off the track, man. You're not going to gain anything. You're already going to be last. Escape out. You have caused an accident, man. Maybe pedal problems, but that still doesn't detract from the fact that he was sat on a live race circuit and has now taken out Fabian Volta. Volta will be absolutely livid, and now Pfeiffer under pressure from Iceman. Iceman with the overs almost, not going to make it work. Pfeiffer seemingly liking to take that tighter line through turn 1. As Mikkel's trying to have a look at Iceman behind. It's not going to work. These guys all fighting for P4 in this race now. Looking down. Fedor has got the speed. He's just not really got anywhere to overtake. So, save for fuel, save for tyres, and give it a go as Pfeiffer's off. As Sebastian Pfeiffer goes off. He's going to drop down. Is he going to drop behind Gardner? No, he's not going to drop behind Gardner. But he's going to drop behind Hahn, Hales, and Michel as well. And obviously Iceman as well. That promotes those guys up a place. But look at Fedor. Fedor with the run. Will he go for a move? He's showing his intention. But no, he holds off. Decides better of it. Maybe will go for the run. As Malaika goes a bit wide, it's going to be nearly side by side through the penultimate corner. But Fedor has to worry about Iceman behind, because Iceman's going to get a run if he's not careful. As long as Fedor can keep the run going, he's going to have the run as they exit the final corner. Here we go to the inside. Malaika goes semi-defensive. He now goes fully defensive into turn 1. Late on the brakes, and that is going to be Iceman on the outside. Fedor with Iceman on the outside. Iceman's going to make the move on the outside. Amazing job by Billy Iceman. But Iceman really around the outside. Great job by him. On board with Iceman as he's now going to go, oi, I want to get past you, Malaika. Get out of my way. And the McLaren, a lot quicker around here than the Bentley, it seems. But maybe we'll see Iceman manage to make his way through. Remember, he finished the third last time out, so he's looking to get up past the slower car. Yannick Malaika really holding his own here, though. Impressive drive. You get out of position like this, you very much have to defend for your life. As Fedor trying to have a look at Iceman here. Very, very close indeed. Coming down through the final sector. Very, very close between these guys. And obviously, Iceman very close to the back of Malaika. Look through. And I was pointed out 7 cars in this one train of cars. That is Iceman in. Iceman has come into the pit lane. Now, why is he coming to the pit lane? Has he run out of tyres or has he misjudged? And in the background, that's Hahn. Hahn on the outside of Hales. And he gets past Hales. Daniel Hahn into 7th place. Back to where he was last time out. Daniel Hahn doing an amazing job. He's back up to where he was before the accident. Now closing back up to Michel. He's hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice. As Pfeiffer trying to have a look to the inside of... Oh, that's so close. But inside of Hales. Oh, there's a bit of a love tap between the two. But Pfeiffer very, very close indeed. These two guys are going at it for the entirety of the race, and obviously. Oh, that's a slide for Fedor. That's a slide for Fedor. That's allowed Mikkel and also Hahn through, and Hahn's going to have a look at the inside of Mikkel. So Hahn into 5th place if he makes this work. And he does make it work. Hahn into 5th now. What a dream drive for the Schubert Motorsports driver. And those guys in the Schubert garage are going to be absolutely ecstatic with this result. One of the weakest cars of the field, and it is up the front of the field in the second race. As Fedor goes wide in the background, trying to get a run. As we can see, that is Gartner versus Hales, and Gartner around the outside of Hales now makes the move stick. And there's JT Tarmy in this fight as well, so Tarmy very close as well. Looking back from Johannes Michel. Looking at Gabor Fedor. Now looking forward to Daniel Hahn's rear end. Hahn already on the back of Malaika. And we've only got 7 minutes and 50 seconds left. Where has this race, ladies and gentlemen, been extremely close all race? But Hahn trying to look at any opportunity to get past Malaika. And Malaika actually being defensive, so he's very much worried about the BMW behind. If Hahn can just get a run, he can make a move pretty easily. Still can't get over how beautiful that colour scheme is on that Schubert. Daniel Hahn really trying to look. And he's going to wait for the final corner, run for the final corner. That's all you need to do. Just sit behind the car in front through the final corner. Don't get too much adrift like the Bentleys have been doing. And get the run. And here we go. Same old story. The BMW with the overspeed on the Aston Martin. That's something I never thought I'd say in a GT race. And Hahn is round. Hahn is round at turn 1. Hahn is round. He rejoins. That was no fault of Yannick Malaika. Hahn just got loose, and Pfeiffer is fighting with Fedor. And Fedor's going to get sideways, but Pfeiffer's going to go through into 6th place. But Daniel Hahn, it was going oh so well, and it's now gone oh so wrong. He's got Jun Uyan in 13th behind him, and he's now behind Alex Brauticum, who's up to 11th. Outstanding drive by Alex Brauticum, a recovery damage limitation. But Yannick Malaika, even if Visner was to get a penalty for what he scores today, it would not really affect him unless he got a 30-second penalty. And that is Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to the inside of Michel. That's going to be very close on exit. He's coming down to the drive, and the Bentley's going to have a look. That is Fedor going to have a look. Don't go 3 wide, lads. It's not going to work. Oh, it's Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer almost hits the back of Malaika, but Pfeiffer now under pressure. The Bentley goes wide. Through goes Gartner. Gartner goes through, and this is JT Tarmy on the back of these guys. It's not going to affect Hahn and Uyan, who are still closing up to this. But with Fedor going wide, it allows Gartner in the McLaren through, and Pfeiffer almost going into the back of Malaika set all of this off, this chain of events. 5 minutes left on the clock, and look at this behind. JT Tarmy having a look at the out of the Bentleys. And Alex Brauticum on the Bentleys are side by side. Adam Hales and Gabor Fedor side by side through 3 to allow Tarmy up through, and there's Alex Brauticum. Brauticum to the inside. He's side by side at the hill. No, it's not. Brauticum's going to back off and just sit in the slipstream. These guys need to focus on catching these guys ahead. Ever so close between these guys. And Pfeiffer having a look again at Malaika. Malika just does not have the pace. Every time he gets away from these guys, they come back at him and Pfeiffer to the inside. They've got traffic ahead. They've got one of the radicals ahead. But now Pfeiffer coming under pressure from the second of the Falcons. One Falcon protecting another. But Pfeiffer trying to make his move. And does he go for it here? No, he doesn't. He can see the radical ahead and goes, oh, I've got traffic in front of me. I can maybe take advantage of this. But just needs to sit pretty. And unless he can get a really, really good run out of here, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. As Malika's gone wide. Malika's gone wide. Here we go. The run for the Porsche. They got the radical stopped on the inside. Pfeiffer will make his way. He's going to go uber defensive. How hard can it be? Well, not very hard at all for Sebastian Pfeiffer. As Pfeiffer goes through. And now Malika is going to be under pressure from his teammate, Johannes Michel. I would not be surprised if Malika just lets him go. How could it be what my cameraman says? Apparently 365 attempts. Well, yeah, that is true. As Michel is now under pressure from Gartner. Gartner gets a bit sideways. Thankfully holds it. JT Tami and the two Bentleys behind get interested. And this gaggle of cars gets ever closer. This whole racing has been because of Malika and Nesbitt's come through on Tami. So Browscombe is up into the top 10 now. Alex Browscombe, take a bow, sir. As these guys are over 40 seconds behind. Race leader as the two Bentleys go side by side. Browscombe gets interested. As that is Malika, oh not Malika, sorry, that's Michel. Michel and Gartner side by side into the penultimate corner. Michel's going to have to back out. Go for the run. The Falcon's going to try and work together maybe to hold off Gartner, but Gartner's going to have the run regardless, and Malika doesn't have any top speed, and all the time you have to leave it the space. Well, hopefully they leave enough space for each other. They create a rolling roadblock into someone as Browscombe on the outside, the Bentley behind. Malika lets his teammate through, and there's Gartner. 3 wide on the exit of turn 1, and there's contact. Gartner goes round because of Fodor. Oh, that is horrible, but Browscombe now on the back of Malika. Browscombe's into 7th. Browscombe has made up 3 places. Alex Browscombe, take a bow. He's now on the back of Yannick Malika. Get past Malika. He will make an amazing drive. But Fodor, apparently it looks like, according to my cameraman, it looks like Malika pushed him into Gartner into Fodor, and in the background you could just see Daniel Hahn trying to make up some places. Had a very war-torn race. As Johnny Young gets interested in 12th. And Pfeiffer, 4 seconds a gap to Michel now. Absolutely nothing in his rear wing. But Yannick Malika, the immense pressure from Browscombe. This will be the most pressure he's probably felt in his life because Browscombe will not let him go. And he will try every which way to get by. Browscombe wants these points. He needs these points. Browscombe a little love nudge. And he's to the inside. You can see Michel going wide on the exit. But Browscombe to the inside. Nothing he can do except brake laden. What is Malika doing? Malika coming to the inside. Oh, he's got a Bentley on the outside. That's why he had a Bentley on the outside. Fodor trying to make it work. And there's Daniel Hahn. Daniel Hahn into 8th place now. But he's going to have the Bentley of Fodor on his inside. Need to switch this because Fodor side by side as they come out of the hairpin. I wondered why Malika was going into the side of Browscombe, but it's because Browscombe because Fodor had a Bentley on his left. But Daniel Hahn up into 8th, one place, he'll be back where he was before he got taken out last time. Sorry, before he made the mistake last time, I should say. As that's JT Tarmy on the inside of Hales in the background. Oh, it's Hales! No! Daniel Hahn! No, no, no! Again, he's been taken out of this race by Gabor Fedor this time. What is it? Is everyone just against the BMW or something? Is everyone just not like the BMW? Because the BMW's been running fine all race, and now he's taken out. He's down to 14th. I feel very sorry for the race stewards who are just going to have a single like page of protest just from one driver this round. But heartbreak again for Daniel Hahn, as now Malaika's got Fedor and Tarmy. JT Tarmy is on a charge this race. But Tarmy to the inside, he's going to have the Bentley cut across the front of him. To the outside, the Bentley. The Bentley's out of fuel. Oh wait, no, we finished, sorry. So the Bentley is going to have finished. I take that back. Very sorry I missed that because of all the action. But Kolvenbach has won the race. Jun 2nd, Visner 3rd, Pfeiffer 4th, Mick 5th, Branscombe 6th. And out of all of that, it was Malaika, Fedor, Tarmy, Hales. Oh God, with all the action going on, I completely missed what was going on. I completely missed the fact that we finished that race there. I think even my camera had forgotten because of what was going on. But congratulations to 3Y for a dominant victory. Black Hawk in 3. An amazing recovery by Alex Brauscombe to finish in 6th. But that 3rd place driver, Daniel Visner in the Black Hawk 99, he's got some things to answer for, in my opinion. And what a race! And thank you, Ricardo, for not telling me it was the final lap. I was too focused on the action that was going on in front of my face. But wow, wow, wow. And a great recovery by JT Tarmy. And my heart goes out to the Schubert Motorsports race. Like, that was horrible. Like, that is absolutely horrible. I feel so sorry for Daniel Hahn in the Schubert car. Falcon 16th, 17th is Drillers, then TM 47, 98 Drillers. The rest of the field, the 2 Radicals, 22nd and 23rd. So not the best of outings for them, but hopefully they will, hopefully if their reserve list is nice to them, we'll see them again next time out. But an amazing set of races we've had here today. And wow, wow, wow. That will definitely have Daniel Visner in the lead of the title after that race. Obviously a 1st and a 3rd. And Bastian Pfeiffer nowhere near him in terms of points now, obviously with the 2nd and a 6th place in all of that. And then onto the flyer. Well, 25th of the 5th today. That was Zandvoort. The next round in 8 months will be at Portugal at the Circuit de Algarve. It is a beautiful circuit. And then we head off to Interlagos for round 3. The 20th of June. That's going to be an amazing race at the Circuit de Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Then we head off to Line Rock on the 24th of the 8th, the 24th of August. Wow, that's going to be hilarious. It's a very tight, twisty track, and there's definitely going to be some carnage going on there. We then, after that, September the 28th, we head to Atlanta Motorsports Park. A beautiful track, one of the very beautiful tracks of the calendar, and definitely one that's not used a lot nowadays. Obviously, one of those more lesser used tracks. And then the finale, the big one, the 26th of October. We head to Silverstone, the international, the GP circuit, the Formula One layout. It's fast, it's furious. But for now, it has been an amazing set of races here at the Circuit Park Zandvoort. I have been Alex Skinner, and on the cameras has been my amazing colleague, Ricardo Edelman. And alongside me, for the periods of time he was here and not focusing on all the chaos that was going on, we had Simon Christman. And from all of us here at P1 Gaming, it's been an amazing set of races. And hopefully we'll see you in a month's time at Portugal. Until then, it's goodbye for now, and see you next time.